Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I am Shai Hopkins. I manage marketing for the New Jersey Small Business Development Center statewide network, and I want to welcome you to How to Beat Holiday Stress for Good. Yay! As the holidays are upon us, as you can see by my lovely backdrop. We are definitely in Thanksgiving pre-Christmas season. So we're ready to get started. So that being said, why don't you let us know where you are so that we can kind of say hi from where we are. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat window right now. Hi from Oakland, New Jersey. Yay. And I'll put a smiley face in there too. Whoop, I started to mess up the smiley face a little bit. So hi from Oakland. So why don't you let us know where you're coming from and say hello to us too, so we can all be nice and loving and spread the joy and welcomes. Yay, thank you, super awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my spiel to get us started today. So let's see. So I'm going to give you a little bit of housekeeping as to who we are. So for 45 years now, the NJSBDC network has been the premier provider of comprehensive services and programs for small and mid-sized businesses in New Jersey with wide infrastructure, diverse facilities, intellectual and knowledge capabilities, and private sector experts. The NJSBDC has 12 regional centers and over 20 affiliate and satellite offices throughout the state through public and private partnerships with colleges, universities, chambers of commerce, and other business organizations. Our services include one-on-one counseling, training, courses, training just like today. Our business consultant will give you one-on-one assistance and instruction to develop a great idea into a fully functioning business and help you grow your existing business to the next level. Our training courses, just like this one today, is especially specifically created to help business owners develop a strong foundation in key areas of entrepreneurship. Our network has curated a collection of databases and partners essential to properly start, sustain, and grow your business. We provide these resources only to our clients at no cost, and I'm going to say that again. We provide these resources only to our clients at no cost. These resources include research tools, lending programs, banks, software, and so much more. In short, we are here to help you succeed. Your success is literally our success. To learn more about the NJSBDC or to become a client or set up your expert business counseling session, please go to www.njsbdc.com, which is right at the lower right end corner of the screen. And we'll go ahead and get you started. So now I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. So today's presenter is Beverly Bowerman King. Join us as we discuss how to beat holiday stress for good. Today's webinar is part of the Fostering Mental Health and Resiliency series. So make sure to follow along and register for the rest of the webinars. And now, without further ado, please welcome Beverly.
Thank you, Shai. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I love Shai's background because it's the epitome of fall. We here where I'm at got a foot of snow. I was telling Shai, so I'm kind of in a different holiday season. Whether you are celebrating Thanksgiving or you're looking forward to December and the holidays there, we're going to be talking about how do we manage that holiday stress, whether it's from family or too much to do at work or whatever that looks like. So we're going to have some fun. I have a couple of polls that I want to share here. So let me do my share screen. Let's see. Oops. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Okay. And I need to bring back over here so I can see everyone. Perfect. There we go. All right. So I have a couple of kind of trivia questions for us to start with. What do you think? Which state produces the most Christmas trees? What do you think? So I'm going to launch my poll here. Here's the first poll. Let's launch this one. Let me know. What do you think? Is it Oregon, North Carolina, Michigan, or Wisconsin? What do you think? Which state produces the most Christmas trees? All right, they're coming in. Here we go. Let's see. It seems to be pretty much a neck and neck race for all of them. Give you a couple of more seconds guessing along here. Which state produces the most Christmas trees? Oregon, North Carolina, Michigan, or Wisconsin? All right, we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, last chance to vote. All right, ending the poll and sharing results. So we just by like squeaking ahead, we said Oregon. Oregon is the state that actually has the most Christmas trees. So what do we think here? So let's do this by elimination. We're going to go in. So I saw on there, Wisconsin, nope. Michigan, nope. North Carolina, nope. And Oregon is the right answer. All right. Question number 2. How many Christmas trees are sold every year in the US? What do you think? So let me launch my second poll. Is it 2.5 million Christmas trees? Is it 250,000 Christmas trees, 25 million, or 250 million Christmas trees? What do you think? How many Christmas trees are sold every year in the US? Let me know. Here we go. We're coming in. Nobody's saying 250,000. Okay, so I think we're ruling that one out. What do you think? How many Christmas trees? Give you another couple of seconds. Let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And so overwhelmingly, we're saying 25 million, 2.5 and 250. So let's do the stop share and see what our results are. So I think we saw 2.5, nope, 250 and 225. So we're doing really good on this one. All right, number 3, here's the next question. How many pounds of eggnog are consumed by Americans every year? What do you think? All right, here is the last poll. Is it 13.5 million, 135 million, 7.5 million, or 1.3 million? What do you think? Let's see. How many of you, if you like eggnog, give me some exclamation marks in the chat box, or give me a yes or a yay, or looking forward to it. What do you think? Let me know that in the chat if you've already voted. What are we seeing here? Good. All right, we'll give it another couple seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Some of you didn't guess this time. All right. Some of you are waiting to see. So we seem to have a bit of a tie going on here. Let's do a stop share. Get rid of that. Let's see. So I did see it's not 13.5. And we know it's not 1.3. 135 million. Wow. 135 million pounds of eggnog. All right. So why do I do all that? Just to get us warmed up and thinking about the holidays, getting us in the mood, letting go of all of the things that are going on around us. Spencer's saying, yeah, he likes eggnog. If anybody else likes eggnog, throw it in there. Shai's saying, sometimes, not always, it's just sometimes. All right. So we're going to be talking about holiday stress. Now, I'm moving into Christmas mode. Some of you may be moving into other holiday mode, and that's okay. But it's how do we deal with it? How do we deal with it in a way that, it doesn't cause stress? It doesn't cause us to feel angry and frustrated, or it doesn't cause us to get worn out and tired out. So we're going to be talking about where does it come from? What does it do to us? And how do we deal with it? I like this. You better not shout, you better not fight. It's this, we have these expectations that it's going to be like the Hallmark Christmas card, that everybody's going to get along. Everybody's going to be, happy. Everybody's going to be thankful, that it's going to just be full of sparkle and lights and Thanksgiving, all of these wonderful things. But we know that it brings about a certain amount of stress. Now, I know that you're going into Thanksgiving weekend and weekend, kind of, for some people it goes all the way through. What do you think? Where would your stress level be? Let me know in the chat box. We've got a couple of days until kind of the big celebration for Thanksgiving. Where's your stress level at? Is it, going to explode? Is it in the middle? Maybe it's more than I'd like. Maybe you're kind of, hey, you know what, this is just right. Everything's okay. What do you think? Let me know in the chat box. Where's your stress level right now? And make sure that you put it to everybody so that I can see it as well. Okay. Let's see. I'm seeing just right. Vid is saying low. Shai saying a little high. Lillian saying hi. What do we think? Where's our stress level right now? Maria saying just right. Good. Okay. Spencer, a little too high. All right, so it seems to be kind of in that managing kind of stage right now, and that's good. What we do know from our research is that 62% of people, describe their stress during the holidays as very or somewhat high. It's elevated. There's more than what we'd like. Only about 10% of us report that we don't have any stress during the holidays. So we see where there's a little bit more, and we look at during the holidays, we look at different kinds of stress. It might be financial, it might be getting together with people. And so how that impacts us or how we manage those is going to determine kind of our overall level of stress. So let's talk about our sources of stress. Where does it come from? What does it look like? Big question. Are you ready for the holidays? Shai and I were talking, and she was saying, as soon as Thanksgiving is done, is your tree up? Are you ready? Do you have your shopping done? Right now I'm seeing people on my feed going, yeah, my shopping's done, or I bought my first Christmas present. It is about are you ready? Are you ready to tackle it? Are you ready to handle it? We meet people when we're going shopping, or we see them at work. That seems to be the focus of conversation. Are you ready? What we do know, we're coming up into December, that almost half of us say that December is the most stressful time of the year. So if we look at all of the different months, that somehow, December. So again, with the holidays, with the weather changing, with year end, all of the reports and things that need to be done, all of these things build up for December to make it one of the most stressful times of the year. What are your top sources of stress? What do you think? So we're going to actually do this one together. What you're going to do is you're going to take out your phone. You're going to turn it on to camera mode. So make sure you pop onto the camera. Hold it up to that QR box that's on the left-hand side. It should automatically take you to where this is hosted. Now, if that doesn't work right away, maybe you don't have your smartphone with you, and that's okay. You can type into the URL, slido.com, and then put in the code that it's going to ask you for, which is NJSBDC holidays, and then you should be able to start typing. So what are your top sources of holiday stress? I want you to think between now and the end of the year. So let's say between now and January 1st, what are some of your top sources of holiday stress? All right, so if you're in, you don't need to type in the code. If you're in, you can already just start typing. What are your sources of stress? Deadlines. Yeah, trying to get it all done. Trying to make sure we get those last reports off so that we can take that time off. Buying the perfect gift. Work deadlines, family commitments, whether it's the kids, year-end play, if they're having that this year, or, it might be exams. It might be, depending on if you have, kids in high school. Budgeting. Let's see, what else is part of your holiday stress? Again, if that doesn't work, throw it into the chat box. Thank you, Vincent. Balancing travel and COVID, wanting to go away, wanting to go and see people. But is it safe? Is it the right time? Should we wait? We're in my family, that's what we're talking about right now. We actually are doing a doodle poll with our family to figure out, like, do we feel comfortable getting together, getting things done? Good. Money, not overspending. Good. Yeah. Financial stressors. Absolutely. When we talk about the sources of stress, we look at some of the kind of the top sources of stress, and some of them financial pressures, kind of building on what Vincent said, isolation. Should we get together? This is, the third kind of Christmas time. Like, what does that look like? What should we be doing? Separation, divorce, if there's family issues, those come out at this time of year. How are we going to manage that? Who's going where? If you've lost somebody, again, kind of the memories that we have. And then, hey, it's another year gone by, another year that maybe things didn't work the way that you thought they were going to. And so we, some things that we don't often think of, it's, situations around the lights. One of the things that one of the research studies was that, this time of year is a hard time of year because of the time change. It gets darker earlier. And now we pop into these, places and shopping malls and streets and stuff like that are flashing these lights. And the illumination and the color, for some people, they're really sensitive to that. And so it can bring about negative moods, and it can bring about headaches. For other people, it's like, oh, look at the lights, and it lifts our mood. But we need to remember that for some people, it can actually be a source of stress for some people. Seeing all of them all over the place. Christmas music, holiday music, for some people, it's like, oh, I like it for the first couple of times, but day 15, day 20, day 30, I'm starting to, get really sick and tired of it. So sometimes it's little things that get under our skin. It's not just the kind of the visual, it may be the songs that lead up to it. Maybe they bring about different kinds of emotions. And then, like I said, the emotions around, have I lost somebody? Have I lost a job? Have I lost part of my identity? Those can be sources of stress as well. What we do see, and I'm going to highlight some of these from our research. So certainly when we talk about the holidays, getting together can often lead to more family arguments. Who's going to be doing what? Who's hosting what? Who's going to take it? Who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing? All of that can lead to more conflict. Number 2 is a lack of money. A lack of money to do the things or buy the things that we want or need during that time. Things become more expensive. If you're dealing with children, it's wanting to provide for them, but at the same time, money could be tight already. Too much to do and not enough time to do it. And many of you had talked about that in the word cloud of, there's deadlines, there's things that need to get done both at work and in my personal life. And those deadlines, they pile up and they load it. Finding the perfect gift, if there's such a thing, is finding the perfect gift, the one where the person opens it up and goes, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was looking for. Sometimes expectations play a role. Traveling, like Vincent said, should we? What does that look like? Packing up, getting ready, even if it's only for a day, just even sometimes being on the roads and traveling at that time of year. Weight gain. Now, nobody put that in the little word cloud, but for me, it's all of the treats. All of my favorite foods come out at this time of year. It's everything from turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy. It's the pumpkin pie. It's all of the desserts. My grandma's Christmas pudding. All of that stuff comes out, and I have very little willpower when it comes to that time of year. Loneliness is another one. Now, some of the things that are not nearly as big, but they certainly cause stress. So sometimes we don't think of these things. These are more the little things that get under our skin. And it's waiting, standing in line. How many of you, if waiting gets to you, give me a thumbs up, a yeehaw, a yes, exclamation mark in the chat box. Let me know. For me, I get less patient, and even waiting a couple of seconds tends to, bug me more than it does maybe at other times of year. Wrapping presents. I love buying, I love giving, but I hate wrapping. I'm not good at it. They don't look pretty. They're not like, you know, what you see some people who have like all the corners, everything matches, nothing's out of alignment. The bows look so pretty. Mine look like, you know, a 5-year-old wrapped them. So wrapping presents is in there. Cooking dinner. I like, you know, when it shows up. I don't necessarily like all the prep that goes with it. And I certainly don't necessarily like getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to put the turkey in the oven. Putting up the tree. How many of you with me, especially around Christmas, when you put the tree up? I love the lights on my tree. I love all of the decorations. The decorations all mean something to me, but I hate putting them on the tree. Sending cards. Pre-wired trees where the lights don't work, Vincent, yeah. Or you've got them where, you know, you're trying to figure out where's the bulb that's out. I hear you. Sending Christmas cards. How many of you still send Christmas cards? Throw that into the chat box if you do. I do. I send actually quite a few of them. And that's, for me, that's part of my tradition. My husband used to work for Hallmark cards. So I'll make a lot of Hallmark references, but my husband used to work for Hallmark cards. So I would have lots of Christmas cards. And because you work for Hallmark cards, people expect that you're going to give them a Hallmark card. And so I started a tradition maybe 26 years ago when I was pregnant with my first son, of sending out our family newsletter, and it went inside the Christmas card. And every time I think about stopping, somebody will say, oh, I can't wait to get your letter. Your letter is one of the ones that I look forward to every year. And so I'm like, okay. So I do the Christmas cards and I do the letters. Being nice. This one always makes me laugh when I see it. You know, that having to be jolly, having to be up, because that's what other people expect, can be draining, can take its toll. And then, you know, the hangover, whether it is a food hangover, because you've been eating way too much sugars and carbs, or it's an alcohol hangover because maybe you indulged with friends and family. But sometimes that can be a source of stress as well. I like this. Cynthia, New Year's cards, as they are neutral holidays, nearly everyone celebrates. I like that. Yes. So yeah, I have Christmas cards for my family members who I know celebrate Christmas in particular. And then I have neutral cards that I send to people that, you know, I'm not quite sure if they are into celebrating, or maybe they've gone through a loss and I don't want to necessarily accentuate that. So I'll send a more neutral card that just allows them to know that I'm thinking about them. So I absolutely agree, Cynthia. Thank you. All right. Christmas is considered one of the top 6 stressful life events. So whether you celebrate it or not, we look at how that has an impact on our stress. And for some people, they don't celebrate it, but it still creates all kinds of stress because of what's happening around them. I want to highlight the emotional contagion. And what I mean by that is that our attitudes and behaviors ripple out, both our positive and our negative. And so if we are tired out and worn out and frustrated, that's going to ripple out to our team. That's going to ripple out to our family members. That's going to ripple out to the people that we hang out with. And so it becomes more toxic. And we pick up on other people's negativity, on their stress. And so it can impact us even when we are trying really hard not to let that happen to us. So we need to be able to figure out, how do we manage that? How do we help other people? Family get-togethers, you know, get-togethers with certain friends can spark that negativity. And really it's about understanding, how do we cope? How do we deal with those type of people? And one of the best pieces of advice is actually from Mary Kay. And she says, you know, pretend that every single person that you come into contact with has a sign on them that says, make me feel important. Even when we don't particularly want to be with that person, when we don't want to hang out with them. A couple of comments, a couple of conversations that let that person know that they are valued, that they're important, that you are glad that you can get together, not in a fake way, but in a way that just allows that person to realize that you have a connection with them, can go a long way in decreasing sometimes that negativity. Understanding why people are negative or difficult, you know, can help you to figure out, is that person looking for maybe more control or recognition? I do a program on handling negative attitudes and difficult people. So I encourage you to join me for that one in particular. But it's about how do we meet people where they're at, and how do we make them feel important in order to buffer ourselves against their negativity. All right, number two. Number two is, what is the impact? We talked about where it comes from, but now what's the impact? What is it? How does it make you feel when you're dealing with all of this kind of stress? So we are going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Where in your body do you feel it when you get stressed out? And how do other people know that you are dealing with the stress of the holidays? What does it look like? So what does it feel like? And what does it look like? Now we're going to go into our breakout rooms. We're going to send you off into a breakout room. Uzma, are you able to set that up for us?
Yep.
Perfect. So while she's getting that set up, you're going to be sent out into breakout rooms. First of all, say hi, introduce yourself. You're going to have, 5 minutes on this so that you've got lots of time. And then talk about, how do other people know when you get stressed out? What does it feel like throughout the holidays? And what does it look like? So what does it feel like? What does it look like? And whenever you're ready, you can launch the breakout rooms. Oh, there's no option for breakout rooms. Okay, that's all right. We will readjust. So perfect, Vincent. I love the fact that you jumped right in there. So let's do it this way. We're going to do it in the chat. You can let me know through the chat where in your body. Let's start with that one first. Where in your body do you feel it? So where does it hit you when you are stressed out, when you've been dealing with this stuff, when it's been going on for a while? So I'm seeing stomach from Vincent and Shy. Maria is saying neck and shoulders, tenses up, it tightens up. Kimberly is saying in her head, that might be tension headaches, it could be migraines, could be just that pressure feeling. Matt saying chest, could be again that pressure on the chest or heart skipping a beat. Spencer saying head and neck, good. Head and neck seem to be a really popular one. Vid, neck and stomach, upset stomach, constipation, diarrhea, all those things that you want to talk about in front of other people. But it's that gastrointestinal, like things just don't settle. They just don't feel right. All right. Can't sleep. Lillian, perfect. Can't fall asleep, can't stay asleep. You might be planning, you might be thinking about, you might be dreading. All of those things might be keeping you awake, or you're just hyped. I know after a family get together, I can't sleep that night because I'm thinking about, all of the things, what we were talking about, or just the energy. I'm either way up here or I'm drained. I'm way down here and I just can't fall asleep, stay asleep in the same way. Shut down completely. All right. So I think that's where we feel it. Let's talk about, how do other people know? So what does it look like to your family members? What does it look like to your friends? What does it look like to your spouse? Or what does it look like to the people that you work with? Because they commingle, don't they? Especially if you're busy at work, that impacts home. And if you're busy at home, that impacts the people at work. So what does it look like? So we talked about, what does it feel like? What does it look like? How do other people know? Let me know again in the chat. So Vanessa's saying that she shuts down. Maybe you get quiet. Maybe you don't talk, to other people. Let's see. Shy, retreat, slow down, shut down. Spencer, irritable, in a hurry to get things done. Like, come on, I've got things to do. Let's go, people. Lillian, I don't talk. Don't reach out. Matt, short answers. Matt, I'm with you. It's like, I'm busy. I'm focused. I don't have time for chit chat. It's like, yes, no, fine, maybe, whatever. Let's get on with it. So absolutely agree with that one. Anything else? How else do your family members, your friends, how do your colleagues know? What do they notice about you? Any of them, can they tell by your face? Any of you have like a frown going on, or the look? It's like the daggers you can throw across the room at somebody. Anything else? Yeah, I tend to stomp. I tend to rush. I tend to be like always moving. And so that's how people tend to know. Vanessa, eating poorly. Yeah, like I don't take time to sit down. Maybe I don't even take time to drink enough water. So I find I get dehydrated, which causes me to get cranky, or I can't think clearly. And it just kind of ripples and ripples as we go through. All right. Perfect. Shy, right to the comfort foods. Yes, Shy, chocolate covered almonds are still on my list. It's still something that I'm trying to stay away from, but not doing very well. All right. So what is some of the impact? Let's talk a little bit about this. So obsession. Any of you get obsessed with deadlines, obsessed with making things perfect, obsessed with, who's going to sit beside who and who's going to get along and all of those kinds of obsessions. If that's a yes, put that into the chat box with obsession. Any of you for that sense of dread? It's, Uncle so-and-so is coming, or Aunt so-and-so, or we have to, we're spending 3 days together, that kind of sense of dread, or, oh, I've got to make, I've got to do all the cleaning first and I've got to get all of these things done. So that can be part of it. One of the things that we found is that accidents increase. So again, that's a negative impact of the holidays. People, spills. One out of 10 people I read will spill something hot, like a hot grease on them during the holidays. Touching a hot pan. Any of you kind of fall into that category? And then 3% of people, going back to Vincent's comment, 3% of people get shocked by the lights or by plugging things in during the holidays. So we see where accidents is definitely part of it. Not to mention falling off the ladders and by putting up the decorations, that happens to be part of it. Festival fizzle out. Any of you kind of feel that festival fizzle out? Like you start off on a high, and then it starts to wear itself down. You don't have the energy to go, all the way through. And so generally festival fizzle out goes from December 18th for about 5 days. They say kind of, that whole prep period before you actually get to relax throughout the holidays. And again, I'm talking about Christmas, but it could be Hanukkah, it could be whatever the holidays are, but that kind of period ahead of time seems to be when people tend to fizzle out, when they don't have the energy. And then the last one is regression, which is an interesting piece. Any of you regress as soon as you get back with family members? Like you may not have lived at home for 30 years, but you get back into the situation again, and it's sibling rivalry, it's annoyance with parents, it's all of those things that happened that come back, or you see it with your own children, and you see how it's kind of like they reset back all those years ago. And so even if you've dealt with the traumas and mishaps, of growing up, sometimes they come out still during the holidays. Give me a yes for any of those in the chat box. Let me know if I'm on the right track here. Definitely seeing some yeses. Okay. What we're seeing is that about half of us, 45% of us, would prefer to skip right over it. Now, I never want to skip them. I love the holidays, but some of the stressors I could do without. And, I've lost a few grandparents and stuff right around the holidays. So for me, it's also that kind of sense of the blues, of missing people, that sense of grief. And it can spiral down. For some people, it can go further from just the holiday blues into holiday depression. Vincent, no. Okay, awesome. I love that. We are going to be talking about strategies for this last piece. What do the strategies look like? How do we put this stuff together? So here we go. Holding up your phone. What does resilience look like for you in the holidays? What does resilience look like for you in the holidays? What do you think? What words? So again, hold your phone up on camera mode to the QR code, and then you can start typing in. But what does resilience look like for you during the holidays? What would your ideal holiday time look like for you? Again, and if you can't use the QR code, that's fine to throw it into the chat. What do you think? What does resilience look like during the holidays? Time for myself. Yeah. For some people, it's moments. Some people, it's hours. Some people are really looking forward to like pajama day, where you don't have to do anything the entire day, and you can just either read a book, or you can just, watch Netflix or sit by the fire for an entire day. What else? Relaxation, good. Watching movies with the families. If it might be, holiday movies. It might be. I tend to do kind of the the big episodes, like it's going to be, all of the Star Wars or all of the Star Treks, or it's going to be all of the Lord of the Rings, those big, where you can go up, part one, part two, all the way through. And it's just love kind of revisiting some of those older kind of movies like that. Let's see. Staying true to religious or the meaning of the holiday. Yeah. For some people, it is that connection to their spirituality. And it is celebrating and being thankful and, getting back to what they feel is the meaning of the holidays. Absolutely. Having nothing on the calendar, no to-dos, no meetings to go to, no reports that need to be done, no things that need to be dropped off or cleaned up or anything like that. I hear you for that one. Anything else? What else does it mean, for total resilience during the holidays? Vanessa, you know what? There are benefits. There have been things that have come out through, the last couple of years of COVID. And, many people, and you're not alone. It's not sad to say, but I think it's, many people would agree with you that the best part of last year was that there was no company. There was, you didn't have to put on these elaborate decorations, just getting together with your immediate family, those that you were living with, keeping it simple, keeping it, manageable. I think that is awesome. I don't think there's anything absolutely wrong with that. All right. Perfect. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Let's go on to this one. Now, before I need a couple of volunteers. So let's see. I'm going to pick on the last two people, hopefully. I'm not going to pick on you, but I'm actually going to go with the last two people who typed into the chat box, which would be Vincent and Vanessa. Vincent and Vanessa, can you let me know if you're willing to play with me on this? If not, that's okay. I can find somebody else, but I'll start with Vincent and Vanessa. Just give me a yes in the chat if you want to play. So Vanessa's saying yes, Vincent's saying yes. Awesome. Now, because you're not on camera, this is done in the webinar format as opposed to the meeting, or meeting versus webinar. Either way, that's all right. We're going to do it by guessing in the chat box. So this, you can guess vowels, you can guess consonants, either or. Shy, you're going to write down both Vincent and Vanessa's names.
Got it.
All right. And I'll tell you how many points they get by their guesses. Okay. The green boxes, Vincent and Vanessa, are where the letters are, and the blues are the spaces in between. So Vanessa, you came up first saying sure. So I'm going to get you to go first. What letter would you like to guess? C. All right. She's guessing C. There is one C, so you can give her 200 points. Shy. Vanessa, do you have a guess? No. Okay. Vincent, what letter would you like to guess? Vincent's guessing M. Ooh, 600 points. Shy?
100 for M.
So 600. All right. Vincent, do you have a guess? Oh, no, a guess is in, no, a guess is in a guess as to solve the puzzle, I guess I should say. All right, I'm going to move on to Vanessa. Vanessa, what letter? Vanessa's saying H. There are 2 H's for 400 points. Vanessa, do you have a guess? No, okay.
And Vince did mention, he did say Merry Christmas as his guess. Or no, that was Leon. Sorry.
That was Leon. There we go. All right. So Vincent, do you want to go back to the A? Oh, he's going to go E this time. All right, let's do E. There are 3 E's for 600 points.
Awesome.
All right, Vincent, do you have a guess to solve the puzzle? Nope, not a letter guess, a guess to solve the puzzle. All right, don't see one popping up, so we're going to go to Vanessa. Vanessa, what letter would you like? R. All right. There is 1 R for 200 points. Vanessa, do you have a guess? No, I'm not seeing a yes or no. No, okay. Vincent, what letter would you like?
S.
Vincent's going for an S. All right. There are 1, 2, 3 S's for 600 points. Vincent, do you have a guess to solve? All right, Vanessa, what letter?
T. T.
Okay, let's do T for Vanessa. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1,000 points. Yes, 1,000 points on that one. Good guess, Vanessa. All right, Vanessa, do you have a guess to solve? Christmas means, okay. You have to solve the whole thing though, Vanessa, so not quite. Vincent, what letter would you like to guess?
I.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 800 points. Vincent, can you solve the puzzle?
It's not yet.
Not yet. No, not yet. Okay. Vanessa, what letter would you like? L. So there was how many L's that came up? 2? Yes.
Yes, 2.
2 L's for 400 points. Vanessa, do you have a guess?
A little bit more.
Oh, not quite. All right. Vincent, we're getting really close here. What letter would you like, Vincent? An A. All right. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 for 800 points. Vincent, can you make a guess? Give him a moment just in case he's typing it out. No, not yet. All right, Vanessa, what do you think? What letter would you like, Vanessa? There's pressure on right now. N. All right. There is one N, and I think you already knew that one. So that's only 200 points, but can you make your guess now? Give her a second here in case she's typing. What do you think, Vanessa? Do you have a guess? Stuck on the first word. All right, Vincent, make your guess. What letter would you like, Vincent? I has already been done. Vincent, do you have a different letter that you want to guess? I'm not sure. A?
A hat in a, Vince, it was another letter. Do you have another letter that you want to guess? Hat in a box.
No. All right, Vanessa, give me a guess. What letter do you want? An N. We already have N, Vanessa. Yeah. We have the letters at the bottom here. Oh, a B. There we go. There is one B. Do you have a final guess, Vanessa? Not quite. All right, Vincent, there's only 3 letters left. What letter would you like to pick? That's okay, Vanessa. It's a whole lot easier to be sitting back and watching. Everybody else right now is going, I know the answer. It's harder to be playing. All right, Vincent, what's your guess for a letter? One of the 3 last boxes. What do you think? Vincent, do you have a guess for a letter? This is what I call stress. Guess the letter. Leon, I love it. Vincent's stuck. Vanessa's stuck. Hey, Shy, let's help them out. Pick a letter for them.
Let's go with, Vince says Y.
Oh, he says a Y. All right, let's pick a Y, but it's not going to help him any because there's nothing there.
Oh, no.
So there's no Y's. So Shy, pick a letter.
Let's go with an O.
An O. That'll help a little bit. So nobody gets the points. But Vanessa, it is your turn. So you can either pick a letter or make a guess. What would you like? Vanessa, N has already been picked.
Yeah.
So you have a choice of D, you have it D, F, G, J, K, P, Q, U, V, W, X, and Z. All right. So which one out of all of the ones you can see on the bottom, which ones are left? D, F, G, J, K, P, Q, U, V, W, X, and Z.
Vincent.
Vincent, there is Okay, hang on. I'm waiting for Vanessa first. So Vanessa's picking F. All right, so we're gonna go F, and there is an F. So Vanessa, you get 200 points, and you can make a guess, and then I'll go to the U from Vincent. So Vanessa, do you have a guess on what it is? There's only one letter left. I can feel Leon jumping out of the screen right now. Eliminating by trial. I know, Vincent. All right. Vanessa, do you have a guess? What if? Good, finish the rest. Christmas means a little bit more. Is that, I think that's what you're going with. Yes. All right. That was a lot of work, you guys. Perfect. All right. So Vanessa gets $500, 500 points for the right answer. Shy?
Got it.
All right. So who was the ultimate winner?
It was Vanessa. I'm actually trying to come up with the points because I wasn't tabulating because I'm insane right now.
$500 is better than 500 points. I know, but I can't. We'll see if we can get a donation. All right. Vanessa was the winner?
Yes, Vanessa was the winner.
Yay, Vanessa. Give her a round of applause, everybody. Oh my gosh, that was very stressful. This was not meant to be so stressful. Holy smokers. Both Vincent and Vanessa, if you send either, actually, let's do it this way. Send me your email addresses and I will send you a prize through the mail, okay? Or through an electronic prize, okay? So send me your email addresses and I will send you that. And Leon, just because you were stressed out too, you can send me your email address and I will send you a prize as well. Awesome. If you actually, Vanessa, just because I can't necessarily grab it from the chat, if you want to email me at my info@worksmartlivesmart.com, and you'll see that at the end as well, then I can make sure that I can send it directly to you. Oh, my good grief. This was not part of the demonstration of how to create stress. I'm sorry. This was to kind of go through the, the whole kind of the Grinch stole Christmas and what if Christmas means a little bit more. It's what is the focus for the holidays? What is it that you want to try to focus in on? And I think that's the big piece when it comes to how do we get rid of our stress? It is by focusing on what is it that is the key piece for us. Is it celebration? Is it gift giving? Is it reflection? Is it tradition? Is it, connecting to other people and relationship renewal? Is it spiritual? Is it, taking care of myself or, getting involved in the community? Maybe it's volunteer time during this time, or, hey, this is the time where I get projects done around the house. That's, happens a lot too. So whatever that looks like. So what I'd like you to do on a piece of paper is to write down each of these words. So celebration, gift giving, reflection, tradition, relationship renewal, spiritual renewal, relaxation and health renewal, community involvement, physical involvement. And I even left a blank there for other, in case there's some other sort of meaning, some other sort of priority that you want to attach to the holiday season. So I'll give you a minute. I want you to write this down on a piece of paper. Perfect. So Vincent and Vanessa and Leon, if you could email me your email, and then I'll reply right back into your email and send you your gifts. So thank you for playing, everybody. All right. So you have these on a piece of paper. Celebration, gift giving, reflection, tradition, relationship renewal, spiritual renewal, relaxation, health, community involvement, which is our volunteer time, and physical environment. All right, so you have those down. What I'd like you to do is, what are the things that you do? What are maybe the to-dos that you have? Maybe the pieces that are important. What are some of the ideas or things that you do for each of these? So for celebration, for me, our celebration is a family dinner. It is opening up our gifts with our, in our PJs on Christmas morning, gift giving, going to buy the gifts, that could be part of it. My spirituality is, for me, it's going to church on Christmas Eve. So that's, these are some of the things. Relaxation, under that, I would say I absolutely value watching, a movie with popcorn and pajamas and hot chocolate. So that's on my list. So each one of these, I want you to kind of, what are some of the things, or the ideas, or the meanings that you have for each of these? Now, some of them you may not do at all, and that's okay. You can just put an X through them. So if you don't have necessarily anything around spiritual, you can put an X, or if you can't think of an other, put an X through it. That's okay. So we have our list, and you're writing down some ideas for each of these. What would be those tasks or processes or meanings from each of these? Give you a moment. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've got kind of that done, okay? So just let me know if you've got your tasks associated to the list. Shy, absolutely. Spiritual relaxation could be meditation, absolutely. Health and relaxation could also be meditation. It could be yoga. It could be, walking daily, whatever kind of things that you have for each of those. Physical environment. Some of you may have projects. Like it might be, this is the time that we're going to tackle the bedroom. We're going to paint the bedroom, whatever that looks like during your time off. So between now and the end of the year, what is your focus going to be? What are some of the things that you're going to do within each of these areas? Give me a thumbs up, or a yes, or an exclamation mark that you've completed that. All right, Shai saying she's done. Anybody else done? Vid saying yes. All right, so now they're starting to come in. Next thing I'd like you to do on your piece of paper is, don't draw the lines in between, but I want you to draw a circle. I want you just to draw a fairly decent sized circle on your paper. And once you've got that circle, then what I'd like you to do with those 10 categories is to divide off that circle according to how much time and energy, what's the priority. So if celebrating is the top priority, or if tradition is your top priority, it should get a bigger piece of the pie, bigger part of the circle. So I want you to divide that circle according to how much time and energy do you want to spend on any one of these particular areas. And so you're going to kind of go around, and if, like I said, if there's nothing there, like a physical environment, you don't do anything for physical environment. Now, physical environment for me also means things like decorating. So for me, that actually is a priority. But it's not necessarily a priority through the whole time, because it only really happens at the beginning. But it's also then at the end where I have to take everything down. So I want you to think about how much time and energy do you need to spend on each one of these, or are you going to spend on each one of these? So whatever one you're going to spend the most energy on should get the biggest piece of the pie, smaller, smaller, and smaller. When you've divided up your circle, let me know. Thumbs up in the chat, a yes in the chat, an exclamation, any of the above. Vanessa's saying yes, perfect, thank you. Shy, thumbs up. Now, Shy, I'm going to pick on you a little bit. So if you want to put yourself back on camera. Robert's saying yes, perfect. Shy, I want to see your circle if I can. Can you hold it up for me? Hold it up to the camera.
It looks kind of crazy, so I don't know if you can see. Oh,
It's 11 o'clock.
It's down. Oops.
If you pull it back towards your face, right to your.
There it is. It's down here.
Okay. What was the biggest one on your circle?
Physical environment. Actually, physical environment and relaxation, spiritual, are tied.
Are all tied. Good. And so what comes under physical environment for you?
We are swapping rooms so that my daughter gets a bigger room. So we have to move furniture, like literally move furniture from room to room. So that's a whole thing. And I have to start taking care of myself better. So I'm trying to get back into meditating more often and getting into making myself well.
Good. Okay. Like it. So the idea behind doing this is to figure out what is your priority. Now, every year it may change. So I'm going to assume that next year, physical environment's probably not going to be as high maybe on your holiday priority list. Hopefully she doesn't want to flip back, by next. Oh, no. She gets to do it once and once only. So the idea is to figure out, when I know what my priorities are, it makes it a whole lot easier for me to figure out where I'm going to spend my time and energy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So understanding, I'm going to go back to my little list here. If my priority is absolutely about health renewal and relaxation, then me going and planning activity after activity after activity, for 20 days straight, we're doing this, we're visiting that person, we're out shopping for this, where I have no time to sit and be and to take care of myself, is working against my priority. If my priority is about relationship renewal and it's about meaning and it's about connecting, yet I host family dinner and I spend my entire time in the kitchen serving and getting everything ready while everybody else is out here talking and connecting, that's not going to fill my bucket for relationship renewal. So it's about understanding what is your top priority, your second priority, your third priority, and making sure that you fit the activities to make sure that those are a priority, that you're actually doing the things that you want to do in order to make sure that you get rid of the stress, that you make sure that you don't put that kind of pressure. If I know that it's all about relationship renewal, then I'm not as concerned about, the house, being cleaned. I'm not as concerned about the fact that I didn't get everything done or, all of my to-dos off my to-do list. If it is about, tradition, then it's not so much about what does my house look like? Do I have all of the lights up? Maybe if it's about spirituality, it's making sure that, I have time to be in the moment and to be focused in on what's important for me. So I challenge you to think about, if you're at a great point right now. It's November, it's the 23rd, there's over a month and probably about a month and 5 weeks, 6 weeks between now and the end of the year. What do you want that to look like? How are you going to design it in a way that it's going to fit with your priorities, so that when you're kind of coming through to January 1st, you look back and go, that was exactly what I wanted it to be. That doesn't mean that there's not fighting. It doesn't mean that there's not, little stressors, but it filled your bucket according to what you really needed. Okay, does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense. Shai's giving me one this way. Perfect. Thank you. I'm seeing some yeses in the chat. Perfect. So, couple of things. How do we deal with all of this stress? In the chat box, give me some of your best strategies. Before I start talking about some different things, I want to hear what some of your best strategies are. So, what is a couple of your best strategies for managing your stress during the holidays? Whether it's at work or at home, it's meeting a certain bucket's need. What are some of your very best strategies for managing your stress? Share them in the chat box, and let's try to hear from as many people as we can. Being open-minded, good. I'm going to give a really specific one. Mine is relationships, social connectedness. And I started hosting our larger family Christmases when my grandmother became to the point where she couldn't do it. And I had the kind of central location. So I was hosting Christmas, and I decided, again, my husband worked for Hallmark, so I used paper plates. The first year I thought my grandmother was going to, flip out, because she's like, because Christmas, the tradition was the good china comes out, the good silver is polished, the crystal is out, the candelabras, like everything is fancy. And I'm like, I am not spending my time in the kitchen washing all of this stuff, getting it set up, and then washing it all, because it all has to be washed by hand, while everybody else is having fun in the living room, and they're doing all of the connection. So I made the choice of doing paper plates and plastic tablecloths or paper tablecloths, so that I'm also not doing laundry for 6, with napkins and table, all those kinds of things. After the first year, she said, wow, this is so much easier. I'm like, yes, it is. And that became the tradition. So it's looking at what is it that you want to make important, and then how are you going to make that happen? So what am I seeing in the chat? Robert, experiences over tons of gifts. Yeah. Looking at the way that you give gifts and the meaning behind them. I think sometimes, though, one of the things I had to do was make sure that I didn't get so caught up going like, this is the perfect gift, they're going to really love it. And then I was disappointed when their reaction wasn't as big as I had hoped it to be. So it's, the experience of, making sure that we're together as opposed to the focus on the gift. So I like that one, Robert. Matt, stepping outside by myself into the cold and taking a few breaths. Yeah, there is something nice about the first, couple of snowfalls and things. And had I not been in a bit of a rush this morning, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But, it is nice to kind of have the Christmassy kind of impact. I like it. Vanessa, saying no to certain things. Yeah. Saying no to the extras, saying no to taking on, committee work or, doing things that it's going to, it's okay to say yes, but as long as it's not taking you away from your priorities. Setting a schedule and sticking to it. That's a big one. For me, it really is like, what are we going to do when? And then when I look at that schedule, I go like, there is no downtime. We are going from this place to this place. When my husband and I first started dating, we were going to 3 Christmases in one day, which was crazy. And we kept that up for a number of years until the kids, got to the point where like taking them to place was too tough. So we set a couple of days aside in order to do that. So looking at the schedule, Vincent, less focus on material things and more reflection, and appreciating that my mom and dad are still here at 93 and 94. That is awesome. Yeah, I love that. And valuing what they've seen over those 90 plus years and the traditions that have changed. And, I wish I would have sat down a little bit longer and just talked to my grandparents about what their traditions are. And so I make it a point when I go and see my parents and my husband's parents of having those conversations with them so that my kids can hear those kinds of reflections. Spencer, singing songs and passing out gifts to neighbors, friends, family, others who provided a service. Yeah, saying thank you, gratitude. I think that's a great piece with that. I love those. So it really is about the connection. It really is about the meaning. It really is about living on purpose. Let's see. All right. We're not doing that. So going back to, it's recognizing those activities that add, that energize, that motivate, and that please you. And getting rid of or deleting or changing those activities that irritate you, that disappoint you, and that anger you. And really evaluating, like if you feel like your back is up already, even just thinking about something. Why are you doing that? Why are you being involved? And so really just doing that piece of the evaluation. Now, if you've been with me before, I talk about the SOS principle, and the SOS principle stands for situation, ourself, and support. And as we manage the stress throughout the holidays, it's really making sure that we have strategies in each of those three buckets: situation, ourself, and support. What am I going to do about the situation? What am I going to do about the things that are causing my stress? Can I delete them? Can I delegate them? Can I say no to them? What can I do to simplify them in some sort of way? Like my paper plates and napkins, as opposed to the good china. How am I going to take care of myself? And Shai, I love the fact, focusing in on self-care so you can be healthier. This is the time to focus in on sleeping and eating and exercising, doing those things that are going to add more health, drinking more water. It's also about fun. The O is also about that sense of fun and that sense of peace and connection, or not connection, but that sense of peace and making sure that we have balance in our life, that we have things in our life that give us joy, that give us pleasure. And then the last S stands for support. Who do you want to hang out with? Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to support you? Who can help you to get things done? Who do you want to play with? Spirituality comes into that last S. What do you want to connect yourself to? So what am I going to do about it? How am I going to take care of myself? Who's there to support me? And when I can answer those three questions, I'm going to be in a much better position to be able to manage my stress, bring the balance back, bring the meaning back, making sure that I focus in on the things that I want to focus in on. Now, when you find yourself feeling negative, when you find yourself getting your back up, I want you to use the acronym STOP. STOP stands for, first of all, the S stands for stop. That's easy to remember. Just, stop whatever you're doing. Stop and recognize. The T is take a deep breath. Just take a moment to let it go so that you can focus. The O is what's happening. What's causing you to feel irritated? What's causing you to feel frustrated? What's causing you to feel like this is not what I want right now? And then the P is proceed. How are you going to step forward? What are you going to do that's going to help you to address your fears, your frustrations, your sadness? Sometimes we're angry or frustrated because we haven't drank enough water, we haven't eaten, maybe we haven't had enough to sleep, we've been rushing around too much. And so what's going to bring you back that energy? What's going to help you to manage whatever it is you're feeling? Can you simplify things in any kind of way? Can you divert your attention? Can you refocus your attention? What's going to help you to step forward and do the things that you want to do in the way that you want to do them? A couple of my other key points I want to wrap up with, and I've said this before, there is no such thing as the perfect gift. And as parents, sometimes we want to, or as friends or as partners, we want to get the perfect gift, but know that it's not about the perfect gift. It really is just about you thinking about that person and that person realizing that you put thought and energy into it. So what are some keen strategies? Watch out for perfectionism. Any of you living with perfectionism, it has to be done just right, just so, can't delegate it off because nobody does it the way you want it to be done, especially during the holidays. What if they forget? What if it's not quite right? That perfectionism gets in the way. Optimism. It's the optimism bias. I've talked about communication biases before, but the optimism bias, this is going to be the best holiday ever. As soon as we say that, we set ourselves up for this, this loss, this disappointment. The other one that goes along with that is the planning fallacy. How many of you, have underestimated, and I love the fact that Cynthia said, it's about putting a schedule and sticking to it, but how many of you put a to-do list together or a schedule together and completely blew it because you underestimated how much time things are going to take? And if you've done that, yeah, or I'll stop in the middle of what I'm doing and go, okay, I'm just going to check my messages for just a couple of minutes. And then an hour goes by right? Or 2 hours goes by, and then all of the things that I wanted to get done. Or, you know what, we're going to put the tree up tonight, and it takes more than, you know, like an hour. And, you know, being up to midnight is not going to do me any good either. So just kind of making sure that I am realistic about the time and the energy that things actually take, so that I'm more realistic in my planning and my schedule. Watching out for conformity, doing things just because that's the way it's always been done, or because that's what other people expect of you, because that takes us away from the things that have the most meaning to us. And just like Shai said, is, you know, sacrificing our self-care for all of this other stuff, sacrificing our self-care because it's the holidays, and then paying for it, you know, for days and weeks afterwards. You know, adding more stress just because it's the holidays actually takes its toll on how we feel afterwards. Control the stress, or the stress controls you. Control the events, or the events control you. We have the ultimate decision on how we spend our time and our energy. Don't let other people should all over you. You should do this, you should do that. It should be done this way. Make the decision. Spend your time and your energy wisely, making sure that you are watching out for that holiday perfectionism, making it exactly the way you would like it to be done. Don't go into financial debt just for the holidays. And we see people who will spend all of January, all of February, all of March paying off the month of December, which I think, you know, increases that stress. The joy is gone. By the time February comes around, you're not remembering all of the things that you did back in December, but you're still paying them off. So, you know, make a budget, stick to it, plan it out so that it's not causing all kinds of stress, because stress is one of the, financial stress is one of the number one stressors during the holidays. If you do make some decisions, don't regret them. It's an incredible waste of time. If you made the choice, you know, you made that choice based on your priorities, then go with that, whatever that is, whether it was to buy something, whether it was to spend your time and energy doing something, but don't spend your time wallowing in that guilt. Don't let other people make you feel guilty either. I love you know, what Spencer was saying. It's, you know, focusing in on the things that are your blessings. You know, how do you talk about the holidays? Is it like, oh, the holidays are here, and oh my gosh, I'm so busy, and we've got to go to this person's house and that person's house? The way we speak influences the way that we feel. And sometimes we want to kind of emphasize how busy we are to other people, but that reinforces that sense of busyness. It takes away that joy that we're feeling. So count your blessings. You know, don't count, you know, steps and calories and all those other kinds of things. Count blessings instead, and you will be richer for it. Take care of yourself in the best way that you can. Eat right, sleep right, exercise. Those are the things that will help you to get through the holidays and still have joy on the other side. I've kind of come to the end of these things. I'm going to leave you with one more quick little question. And if you've been with me before, you might know the answer to this. But what is the absolute easiest way to break your stress response? If you know, let me know in the chat box. What is the absolute easiest way to break your stress response? Shy is say breathing. Getting up and changing position from Vanessa. Perfect. Knowing it could be worse. Thank you, Vid. Cynthia, know when to say no. Spencer, yes to breathing. Change the way we respond to the stress. The absolute easiest strategy that you can use throughout the holidays to break that stress response, and Shai, you jumped in there because I know you've been paying attention to all of these presentations, is deep breathing. And sometimes just sitting back and taking a moment to do that breathing, to practice it, to bring yourself back into the moment, can bring you back the joy that you're looking for. So we're actually going to do this one together, helping us to be in the moment So you're going to go in through your nose, hold it for 4, out through your nose, and hold it for 4. Ready? We're going to go in. And out. Going in. And out. Practicing this several times throughout the day, and then practicing it throughout the holidays to help you to be in the moment, to be present, to enjoy what's happening around you, whether that's the connections, whether that's your traditions, whether that's the celebrations. It is about focusing in on the things that you can control and letting go of the things that you can't control. Now, I posted this at the beginning of the pandemic. I created a new one just for today. And so this is one about kind of in general about things that we can control and can't control. But the new one for the holidays, I can focus in on who I connect with. I can focus in on how I treat other people. I can focus in on what I'm grateful for. What I can't control is how other people respond. I can't control, the weather and traffic. I can't control other people's happiness. I want you to really focus in on the things that are going to bring the meaning back to the holidays for you. Whether that's getting connected, whether that is showing those acts of kindness, whatever that is for you. What I would want to suggest, though, is watch out that enoughness doesn't get in the way. That there's not enough time during the holidays. I didn't spend it the way that I wanted to, that I'm not good enough, that I should have done better, that I didn't pick out the right gift. That I'm not enough as a friend, as a parent, as a spouse, as a partner. Those kinds of thoughts derail and suck the joy away around us, or away from us. There are gifts all around us if we choose to recognize them. I hope I've given you some things to think about as you go through the holidays. As you wrap this up, and as you think about any questions you have, what is it that you want to start doing as you go into the holidays? What is it that you want to stop doing? And what is it that you want to continue doing? You can let me know in the chat, what are the things that you want to start doing? What are the things that you want to stop doing? What are the things that you are going to continue doing? If you have questions about how to bring more joy back into the holidays, how to manage your stress, how to build your resiliency, you can ask them in the chat box as well. I will stick around and answer those questions. Know that there is all kinds of information on the website. If you go into the website and go to the blog and actually type in holiday stress, you're going to find more information on the holiday blues. You're going to find more information on family stress and how to manage all of that. And so please make use of that. There is also an infographic particular to the holidays. And so you can go use that QR code, hold it up, again on camera mode. That will take you to where the infographics are, and you'll see one particular to holiday stress. So use that as a way of designing the holidays to be exactly the way that you would like them to be. Know that I put out all kinds of points around resiliency in a 2-minute podcast that I do every day. So if you want to hear more about resiliency and mental health and leadership and the holidays, you can listen to that as well. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. There is no such thing, Shai, though, as an evaluation, right?
Yes.
So I would absolutely love if you could fill out these evaluations. Again, I don't take any of your personal information. All you need to do is take your phone, hold it up to the QR code. That will take you automatically to the evaluation. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see more of. And I'll leave that up there. In the chat box, let me know what you want to start, stop, and continue. And if you have any questions, and I will answer all of those as you put that forward. Let's see. Change the way we respond to stress stimulus. Perfect, Vincent. Lillian, take one step at a time. I like it. Robert, being more thankful. Spencer, continue taking a few days off work to spend time with family. I like it. You're very welcome, Leon. Thank you. Thank you. Spencer, start a budget list. Yes, I need to do that too. I haven't done mine yet.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Leon, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you as well. And happy, whatever you celebrate in December, whether that is Hanukkah, whether that is Christmas, whether that is just the fact that you're wrapping up the year and you're saying thanks for everything that has happened in 2021. Other people sharing their start, stop, and continue. Shai, did you have anything on your start, stop, and continue list?
I think the biggest one for my start is exercising again. The stop is the comfort foods.
Okay. I'm going to put my hand up with that one too.
Oh gosh, I swear, me and these comfort foods. My comfort food, Cliff, started on my birthday for Halloween, because my birthday is right before Halloween. So I automatically assume that all of the Halloween candy is for me because it's my birthday time. So I just go straight off. So
yes.
That's my stop. And then my continue is to keep going and growing and working on getting better.
Good. I like it.
Yeah.
Uzma or Juan, do you want to add your start, stop, and continues as well? I don't know if they can hear.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat.
Oh, you're going to put it in the chat. Awesome. All right.
Oh, and Ludlow put the real reason for the season.
Yeah. And whatever that means to you. I mean, it may be spirituality. It may be formal religious kind of beliefs. It may not be. The reason for the season may be connection, and remembering, relationships past. There's so many different purposes and priorities, but it really is about recognizing what those are. So for me, again, I mentioned that, spirituality comes into play. So that, those traditions are part of it. It is about taking the time and connecting with family and friends and having the joy in those relationships. So that for me is part of that, and trying to find ways of, we do silly games and they groan every time I bring these silly games out. It's like, but the connection and the memories, and people go, well, remember when? And so for me, even if they groan, it brings for me joy. So I think I torture people sometimes with these kind of things, but for me, that brings the joy forward. But I have to keep my mind focused on those things, or I can get caught up in going, well, I've got this program to do and I've got to get my Christmas cards out and the newsletter out and I got to get the house cleaned and dusted, vacuum, floors washed, I can just get so bogged down in the to-dos that I forget what the reason is for the season. So thank you for that, Ludlow. Spiritual practice starting, good. Stopping the comfort foods as well, good. Continue doing the things when they have to be done. Doing things when they have to be done. Yeah, perfect. I love all of those. I hope that this was a useful piece together. Again, thinking about the things that you want to spend your time and energy on, and deleting those things that are sucking the joy away from you, if you can, or change them, or minimize them, or buffer yourself in some sort of way. We talk about resiliency. And it is about creating that full and flourishing life. And it really is about creating the holidays to be exactly the way that you would like them to be. Even if there is stressors, they can still have that joy and meaning to them. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for being part of today. There is all kinds of workshops. I'm going to pass it over to Shai, but we are doing more workshops together in 2022. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the new year.
Oh, thank you so much, Beverly. This was a wonderful presentation again. That's why you're so beloved. You always bring us back to home and bring us back to zero so that we can focus on the things that really, really matter. So thank you. Thank you very, very much. So I want to go ahead and make sure to repeat again to complete the evaluation that Beverly had up. Hopefully you were able to get the QR code. Beverly, would you be able to put the QR code back up for the evaluation?
I think we put it into the handout is in the chat. I'm just going through.
Okay, very
Connection
good.
is in the chat. I don't see it yet, so I can put it back up. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And we also have an evaluation to make sure that we at NJSBDC is continuing to give you everything that you need for all of our training sessions. It's really, really important. As a matter of fact, our evaluation is also mandated by the SBA. So we really, really need for you to complete that as well. So there are two. There's the evaluation for Beverly, which will let her know how well you enjoyed today's program. And then there's also the evaluation for NJSBDC to help us understand how we're fitting into what you need for your training as well. So again, I want to thank Beverly for the wonderful presentation, How to Beat Holiday Stress for Good. And again, there are two evaluations, which are both listed in the chat window. Well, one is listed in chat window and the other is listed in the presentation view for you to go ahead and tap into the QR code. And again, today's webinar was part of the NJSBDC's Fostering Mental Health and Resiliency series. There are more webinars in this series to come, just like Beverly just mentioned. So make sure you follow along and register for the rest of this impactful series. And don't forget to schedule your expert counseling session by going to www.njsbdc.com, which is also in the chat window. And again, we're literally here to help you succeed and grow. Thank you so much again, Beverly, for the wonderful presentation. Thank you all for joining us again today. Happy, happy holidays to you. Gobble, gobble on all the turkey. And don't forget to shop small. It's Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday is this coming Saturday, right after Black Friday. And then we have Cyber Monday following up. So we look forward to have you joining us again next time. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.
Awesome. Happy holidays, Shai. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Bye, guys.